Well, good morning. Welcome back to the Broadcast Retirement Network. I'm Jeff Snyder. This is BRN AM for Thursday, July 28th, 2022. And our top story today, get into the groove. The performing arts are alive and well. Well, joining me now to discuss this and a lot more, Charles Simon is the General Manager of Stages Music Arts. Charles, so great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us on the program this morning.
Yeah, great to see you too, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is great, and I love the fact that we talked beforehand. You know, I'm a musician, so I love the fact that you're kind of in the studio behind you.
Yep.
That's not a background, folks. That is a real studio.
This is Studio B control room here at Stages.
Very cool, very cool. Well, let's start off just kind of a big picture question. I want to ask you: are the performing arts, not just in Baltimore, not just in Maryland, nationally, are they alive and well? Have they survived COVID?
Yeah, I think so. I think that they're doing incredibly well. You know, if our school is any indication, we have more interest than ever in people who want to do various types of performance programs, whether it's joining a band, coming to an open mic, doing musical theater. You know, it's very much alive and well, and I think it's a great outlet for people. You know, coming out on the other side of the pandemic, you know, it's a great outlet for people to be creative and to learn an instrument, and people are realizing that they can do this. Anyone can do it.
Yep, and it does, we're not just talking about young people, right? We're not talking about teenagers. You know, when I was growing up, it was always a dream of mine to be the next version of Kiss. I'm dating myself, but it really is for all ages, right? I mean, you can be a 50-year-old, you can be a 25-year-old, you can be a 10-year-old. It applies to everyone.
Yeah, you know, we have jam classes that are attended by, you know, people of all ages and experience levels. We have band classes for, we like to say kids, teens, and adults. So usually like a 9 to 12 age range is our kids classes, then obviously teenage classes, and then we have adult jams that are for students over 18. They're mostly parents or retired folks or whomever who just want to get together and in a band and be able to be guided by a professional instructor and play loud in our studio live room, you know. And then we put on a big concert for everyone. They get to perform at the end. It's a great time. It doesn't matter your skill level. You learn throughout the semester, and there's something for everybody.
Why is music, you know, I've always enjoyed playing, as we were talking about off camera. I've always enjoyed playing. But why do you think people are drawn to music? Is it being in the moment? Is it the creativity that goes with it? There's surely an analytical side when you're playing the instrument. But why does it appeal to so many people?
Yeah, I mean, I think at its core, music is a language, you know, and it's in some ways, very complex one, but in other ways, very primitive. And, you know, it's a way that cross-culturally, it doesn't matter what language you speak, to people who know a little, if you know a pentatonic scale and a couple chords, two people from any walks of life can get together and play together and have a conversation in the language of music. And it's interesting because there are different perspectives or lenses through which music can be experienced. You can be a performer, but you can also be a listener, right? And it's I find, at least as a musician myself, that those are two very different things. Sometimes when you're playing music, you forget what the experience is like for someone who's listening. And we're all listeners. We all know what we like. We all know automatically if something sounds good, feels good, and if something is good music versus, without even having to think about it. So I think music has evolved with our culture, with our species, over millennia, and it's just part of who we are. It's part of the human experience.
Let's talk about the who, the how, the why. I got got a couple minutes before we go to commercial break. You mentioned that you are a musician,
Yes.
but what led you to create this organization, this business? I know that there's a higher calling, a higher mission for you. Is it the sense that maybe, and I'm just putting words in your mouth, and I want to hear from you in a second, but is it something that maybe this environment didn't exist where you lived for other people at the time that you were growing up, and you kind of envisioned this as a way to help future generations? But what was the vision behind the organization?
Well, for Stages, the vision is really belongs with the owner, Rob Smith. Rob is a drummer, and he's learning guitar. He's been a music guy his whole life, and he wanted to create this place where basically we could be of service to any level of musician at any age. Whether it's you taking your first lesson on a new instrument, or a professional recording studio for professional bands. And we really do have two main clients. We have, parents and students in our music school and professional musicians. So in that sense, that vision is coming to fruition. And for me, it's been all about trying to build a community here, a community of like-minded musicians who are basically just trying to pursue their craft and their art in the highest way, who want to learn and find opportunities to perform and to record their music, and just to create a culture and an atmosphere and a community here where everyone feels included and feels like they can do it, and where there's a path where people can grow and achieve. And I think we're building it more and more every day. I guess for me as a kid, just growing up playing music, the best I could do. Well, actually, fun fact, I was in the very first guitar class ever in Baltimore County, my middle school, Cockeysville Middle School, with Miss McGlaris in the 7th grade. And that's what really, like that, and having a friend who was in that class who had already been playing for a number of years and could already play, those two things combined really sparked in me. I came from a family where my parents were big music lovers, always listening to music or going to concerts. So those two things, like being put in a class with an instrument in my hands and seeing one of my peers do it and saying, I can do that, and having a teacher reinforce that, yes, you can do that, really sparked it in me. But there was nothing like this, what we've built here, nothing like this. I had to go to Berklee College of Music in Boston to find something even close to what this facility is in terms of, just the level of professionalism that we have in this facility, and the instructors that we have here who are truly passionate about what they do with teaching music and wanting to inspire kids.
Yeah, well, it's an amazing opportunity. It's an amazing environment, and you're right. You have to reinforce that. Charles, I need to take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about how you, if you're watching this show and you're not playing an instrument, or maybe you are and you want to get involved, you're going to want to stay tuned right here on BRN AM. Imagine a new television network that will make you richer, healthier, and in control of your financial future. This network is for the policewoman in Nashville, Tennessee, the baker in Dubuque, Iowa, the teacher in Lexington, Kentucky. We want to make the idea of savings and retirement culturally relevant. But what do you see as a defining issue of the midterms, especially for the smaller businesses? I mean, they are the lifeblood of the American economy. Featuring exclusive interviews, current affairs, and docuseries. 33
Yeah.
years old, you retired early.
The philosophy is money only matters if it helps you live a life that you love.
But you got to start thinking about retirement as soon as you get in.
The Broadcast Retirement Network will drive very high engagement with premium partnerships. So this isn't retirement and savings for your parents or grandparents. This is for all Americans. And we're going to change the way you think about money. Welcome to the next frontier of retirement and savings. This is BRN, the Broadcast Retirement Network.
Are you over 50? Would you like to get up to 33% more income in retirement? Then call now for this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers. This free book reveals little-known secrets about annuity strategies that will help you make the right choices before buying an annuity. Call right now for your free book, and as a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today.
Call 800-504-8194.
Welcome back. We're talking this morning to Charles Simon of Stages Music Arts. Charles, thanks so much for staying with us this morning.
Yeah, thank you again for having me.
Yes, it's great. I love it. And I love when we talk about the arts because you're right. I think that creative spirit is so important and it really empowers a society and a culture. So this is a great conversation. If I'm watching this show right now and either I've got a child who has an interest or I'm an adult, maybe I have got my kids have graduated and I've got some time to learn an instrument. What's the first step I need to take to get involved? Obviously, watching and doing a little research is important, but getting started is a daunting task sometimes.
Yeah, it's pretty easy for anyone who wants to try it out. We have offerings for people of all ages from 5 years old. We have group classes for kids 5 to 8. That's exploratory music where they can study. They in a group setting go through a unit on 4 different instruments: ukulele, percussion, piano, and voice. They learn songs together. They do little performances together as a small group. So from 5 all the way until, if you're old enough to walk in the door and sit down and actually sit through a lesson. We also have group classes and all that stuff. And what I would recommend is to just visit our website, www.stagesmusicarts.com, and just spend some time exploring the offerings on there. There are forms on every web page. All you have to do is complete one of the forms, and then someone from our team will reach out. And, people just put little notes or details in the form about anything specific, if they've been playing for a while, if they're looking for individual lessons or group lessons, or no matter what it is, you just fill out a form on the site, and it's pretty straightforward. We'll get right back to you.
Yeah, and is it important to have some to have the appropriate expectations? For example, one lesson is not going to make you the next Elton John. It's not going to make you the next Garth Brooks, right? Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say I'm glad that you brought that up because it's extremely important. Especially like when we're talking about younger children or adult students, with younger children, the expectations have to be set, and made clear with the parents that your child might not make progress that's incredibly noticeable from week to week. What's important and what our teachers try to instill is that they're having fun, and they associate going to their music lesson once a week with having fun, and it's through repetition, slowly learning incrementally the foundations, laying a strong foundation that they grow over time. And with adult students, especially those who have never played before or are trying a new instrument, the expectations are also very important. It's about learning to find some peace and relaxation, through studying an instrument, through the challenge of learning something new. Progress, especially at first, is pretty slow. Mm-hmm. But with you keep the right mindset, the right mentality, and you do get better, especially when you play with others, when you go to events here and put yourself in uncomfortable situations at first, and you grow. you learn from those things, and you start learning little skills and adding to what you know how to do slowly over time. So it's very important to have realistic expectations, and have a picture in mind of what it is you're trying to do, and then that's what you're working towards.
Yeah, very important. Last question, Charles. Let's talk about technology. And I'm a little bit older than you are, and I remember learning the guitar and sitting with a songbook and learning the chord positions. But technology has really changed the way not only how music is taught, but you're in a multi-million-dollar facility. I mean, you've got the ability to stream, do live events. I mean, it's not like it was 20 years ago. Talk a little bit about how technology has changed the way we learn and the way we listen to music.
Yeah, that's a great point. So thank you for bringing that up. We actually embrace that wholeheartedly. Every one of our lesson rooms here is outfitted with what we call a home recording setup, which is basically just a computer, a couple speakers, an interface that you can plug your guitar microphone into, and some recording software. And we encourage the teachers and the students to utilize this software from the very beginning. So, if in theory you could be recording in your very first lesson, recording yourself and listening back to it, playing along with backing tracks and recording it and playing it back and hearing, getting feedback in real time from your own ears and feedback from a professional musician, from your instructor. And this stuff is just it's right at our fingertips now. We run electronic music production classes here. We give lessons in that stuff, basically like how to make music on a computer without any instruments at all, just using the software in the computer. So we embrace that here. We know that, this stuff ain't going away, but at the same time, for people who do play an instrument, we have access to incredible studios here to get very high quality sound and do analog recording the old-fashioned way. So we can do it both ways, really. And as far as a listening experience, I mean, it's so cool now that I can watch and listen to a concert anywhere in the world in real time, just through streaming, as you mentioned. And we do have streaming capabilities here for concerts, for live streams. Even simple things like we have a recital and we live stream it so that someone's relatives in another state or even another country can watch their family members perform. It's just a way of bringing everyone closer together and extending our reach.
Yeah,
so we love it.
It's absolutely powerful, and it just shows you how that connectivity is important, the creativity and the music. Charles, we're going to have to leave it there, and I have to say it's amazing that what you and the team have built. And look, shameless plug here. You got to keep on trucking, my friend. Charles Simon, great to talk to you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And we look forward to having you back on the program again very soon.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
And that wraps up this episode of BRN AM. Have a topic of interest, someone you think we should talk to, drop us a line. And don't forget, for all the latest security news and lifestyle wellness, finance tech, so much more, all in one place, check out today's edition of our daily newsletter, The Morning Pulse. Want to search our archives, check out our latest content, well, visit our website, and of course, our streaming partners. We're back again tomorrow for another edition of BRN AM. Until then, I'm Jeff Snyder. Stay safe, keep on saving, and don't forget, roll with the changes.
But if you're tired of the same
Now is your opportunity to co-create content around any topic on the First Lifestyle and Wellness Network. Reach a global audience through our platform and co-own exclusive branded content. All of our programs are available on demand and also as audio-only podcasts, so you can take us on the go. Broadcast Retirement Network, available anytime, anywhere, and on any device.
Are you being audited and do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Is the IRS threatening to take more of your money? Don't fight the IRS alone. The Tax Doctor is here to help you negotiate your tax bill and reduce your stress. The IRS can freeze your assets and seize your bank accounts, but you can stop these IRS actions. The Tax Doctor will work with you using our years of experience to represent your case to help you get the best resolution under the IRS guidelines. Help is here to deal with the IRS to reduce your stress. We've handled thousands of cases, so we know what we're doing. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, do not call the IRS alone. Call a Tax Doctor now for a tax emergency analysis.
Call 800-224-6439.